You ever wonder why some families just can't keep a nanny for more than a week? Well, at the Whitmore Mansion in Seattle, nobody ever lasted longer than 6 days until one morning, a woman who looked like she'd been chased by a wild pack of toddlers just waltzed right in and flipped their whole world upside down. Seriously, first time I heard this story, I laughed so hard I spilled coffee everywhere. You know what I mean? So there she was, Layla Torres, running late, ketchup on her apron, gum stuck to her elbow, hair doing its own thing, shoelace untied. Not exactly the picture-perfect candidate for the reclusive millionaire's home, right? First day on the job, and I look like a hot dog after a tornado, she muttered, standing at the giant iron gates of the mansion, clutching her tote like a life preserver. She rang the bell, got nothing, so like every fearless woman, I know she just pushed open the gate and marched in. The place looked like the lobby of a five-star hotel. Cold, echoing expensive, until a flying drone, trailed by a parade of toilet paper, zipped past her head, headed straight for a crystal chandelier. Two boys, identical twins, 6 years old, screaming, to the chandelier. Go! Go! Then crash. Toilet paper everywhere. Chandelier, swinging like it was auditioning for Cirque du Soleil. And those boys? Clapping and whooping like they'd just discovered electricity. Layla just froze. I'm a new nanny, she offered. The taller twin Max, dinosaur t-shirt, looped her up and down. You're late, he declared. The other, Leo, pointed at her apron. And you look like a dirty hamburger. Man, kids don't pull any punches. While she picked up the mess, heavy footsteps thudded down the stairs. Ryan Blake, CEO, wearing a suit so sharp it could cut glass, strode in looking like he was late for 12 different meetings. You're the new nanny, he barked. Layla didn't miss a beat, just yanked the gum off her elbow and shot back. I am, and you really need a green juice. Those dark circles are screaming for help. Ryan raised an eyebrow. Ryan Blake, CEO, father, and I hate green juice. Layla Torres, nanny, Latina, and a firm believer in green juice for stressful environments, she said, giving as good as she got. Behind her, the drone hit the floor with a sad little beep. Welcome to day one. Ryan was barely gone 10 minutes before Max and Leo started whispering in the corner. Secret mission. Operation Push, Max grinned. Next thing, Layla found herself shoved down the hallway right into Ryan's office mid-phone call. Slam. Door looked. Outside, the twins giggled. Now you two can talk and maybe fall in love. Layla, still wiping ketchup off her shoulder, rolled her eyes. Please tell me this isn't happening. Ryan sighed. It is. She tried to play it cool, but you could see the stress on both their faces. My kids did this, he groaned. Apparently, she deadpanned. Don't worry, I'm not the quitting type. But you know what's wild? Those boys who hadn't laughed for months since losing their mom were giggling in the hallway, listening to every word. The security guard finally unlocked the door. Ryan looked less like a CEO, more like a dad who'd been caught without his armor. And as Layla walked past, he almost smiled. They laughed, he said, and Layla just nodded, realizing maybe, just maybe, she was in the right place. That night, the house was quiet, real quiet, not the fake kind where kids are plotting a pillow fight. Ryan went upstairs expecting to find Layla crying or gone. Instead, he found both boys fast asleep, tucked in, and Layla passed out in a chair between them, book open in her lap, her curls falling around her face. Ryan just stood there in the hallway, wondering when was the last time the boys slept through the night. He grabbed a blanket, covered Layla gently, and for the first time in months, slept all the way till morning. Over breakfast, Layla poured coffee into a unicorn mug, looking half dead but happy. If you're going to fire me, let me finish this coffee first, she joked. Ryan shook his head. You're the 9th nanny in 6 months. The rest barely lasted a week. Layla just shrugged. Sometimes all kids need is someone to stay, you know? Suddenly, Max and Leo barreled down the stairs, all energy and wild ideas. Let's play astronaut pirates. And for a moment, Ryan let himself smile. As days went by, the house started to change. Layla turned breakfast into a silly game, renaming the gardener Master of Golden Leaves, the housekeeper, princess of order, and even Ryan, baron of endless coffee. The boys cracked up, even started calling their dad to join them in hallway dances, Layla's new robot flamingo routine, which Ryan protested but secretly enjoyed. And when a high-stakes investor meeting collided with a full-blown pirate adventure in the conference room, Layla and the boys improvised banana and cream cheese sushi, creative teamwork, wild laughter. Ryan thought he'd lost a $50 million deal, but the Japanese investors were so charmed they ended up closing faster than ever. "You think outside the box, mister." Whitmore, they said. Very creative. Still, the past had its claws in this family. One afternoon, Layla found the one room that was always locked. Curiosity got the best of her. Inside, it was a time capsule: photos, perfume, clothes, his wife's things, untouched. She barely had time to process before bumping a porcelain vase, sending it crashing to the floor. Ryan stormed in, furious, then just deflated. "That vase was the last gift I ever gave her," he said, his voice raw. Layla, realizing what she'd done, was honest. "It was a mistake. But it's just a vase, Ryan. You can buy another. You can't buy memories." For a moment, it seemed like he'd explode, but instead, Max and Leo ran in, holding modeling clay, and set to work making a new family vase, adding flowers, glitter, turning grief into art. Just as things started settling, Lady Margaret, a boy's formidable British grandmother, returned from the Alps, tweed suit and pearls, scrutinizing everyone and everything. She nearly fainted at Layla's pineapple socks and free spirit. But that all changed after Layla calmly rescued her from an attacking cat and tended her scratches with quiet kindness. Even Margaret had to admit, "Your grandmother was a wise woman." Layla winked. "She taught me the importance of bandages and chocolate. Every day brought a new test." Ryan struggled with discipline. He panicked when the boys got dragon tattoos on their faces, threatened no more slime in the office, and tried to hold on to some sense of control. Layla, meanwhile, challenged him. "Do you want robots? Or do you want kids with real personalities?" she'd ask. For every moment of chaos, slime, explosions, pirate ships built from conference tables, karaoke in the living room, there were twice as many hugs and laughs and honest conversations. It wasn't always easy. When Layla left for a day to visit her grandmother, the house turned quiet, the boys listless, Ryan lost. He tried activities: burned cookies, Lego disasters, a failed bedtime story with Lego pieces stuck in his hair. By the end of the night, even he admitted, "We miss you." Layla sent a silly song over WhatsApp and promised to return with surprises. And just like that, life crept back into the mansion. One morning, the boys organized a family talent show: magic tricks, dinosaur songs, sock dancing flamingos. For the grand finale, they sang about their mom of the heart, Layla, who made their house a home again. When Ryan gave him a perfect score, he realized how deeply he cared. And so did Layla. The twins, ever the schemers, decided enough was enough. They organized a wedding in the living room, complete with paper crowns and confetti, insisting Ryan and Layla finally kiss. And they did under a rain of laughter, surrounded by the only family that mattered. A few weeks later, Ryan planned a real proposal, nervous as hell. Wearing a suit and flip-flops, the twins' idea, backyard picnic, homemade kid choir, friends, neighbors, even Lady Margaret in attendance. "Layla Torres," he said, "will you marry me and make this chaos official?" She shouted yes, tackled him into the grass, and the backyard erupted in the kind of wild, noisy celebration that only truly happy families know. Now, the Whitmore house is still messy, loud, and full of surprises. There are days with tears, days with too much slime and not enough patience. But there's always laughter, love, and enough marshmallows to build a castle. Ryan finally figured out what mattered: being present, being human, messing up and making it right. And Layla? She was the piece that made the picture whole. So tell me, after hearing their story, what's your score for this crazy, heart-filled, slightly chaotic family? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what city you're watching from, and if you've ever had a family like this or wish you did. Subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next story, right here.